You're listening to Crud Talk, a ministry of 50 Shades of Grace. Everybody's got a story. I'm guessing like me, you've been hurt before. But what if I told you there was more to this life than being stuck in the hurt and sin of your past? Hey, we all have crud, but it's how we deal with it that makes all the difference.
Today's episode is brought to you by a generous sponsor just like you. We thank you for your gift, which allows us to share hope and continue to help people deal with the crud in their lives. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, hit me up. I'll tell you how. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody, to Crud Talk. I'm Sonia Bruner. How are you doing? Well, we are heading into Mother's Day weekend, and I feel like this is a word that really is not the typical Mother's Day message. And I am really praying that it speaks to the heart of so many of us that got into being a mom with expectations and ideas of how it was going to go, and then quickly found out that it isn't like what we thought. So I'm really praying for those of you that are listening. Being a mom is one of the greatest honors of my life, and it's also the hardest job I've ever had. And so I think a lot of you are going to be able to relate to that. So let's just jump in today. Listen to this. Your story is hard to hear. It hurts me. I don't know how you make it through something like that. I knew after hearing it, if there was anyone who'd understand, it would be you. There's something wrong with me. I feel like the biggest fake on the planet. I wanted the dream, a husband who loves me and kids. I've wanted kids since I was little. Now that I have everything I've ever wanted, I'm more lonely than I thought I'd be. I can't handle being a mother. I get mad and I feel like I could lose it and hurt my kids. Today they were chasing each other through the kitchen and I told them to go play in the living room. About 3 seconds later, they came through the kitchen again and I lost it. I yelled and I grabbed them by the arms. It was too hard and I knew it. They were scared of me. I burst into tears. It's not the first time that this has happened. I'm tired, but there's more to it. I feel trapped. I feel like all the other moms do it better. When I see all the posts about moms and their kids, it seems effortless and they like it. I hate it most days. I love my girls. My girls are wonderful and it's not their fault that I feel like this. The truth is, I don't want to spend all my time with them. If I can find a way to drop them off or sign them up for activities, I'm doing it. Anything to get a break. They need me. I'm their mother, but I can't make that be enough. I know it's wrong, but I'm done. I feel guilty and I've thought about leaving many times. I have no idea where I'd go, but even that sounds like heaven. My husband is a great father and he tries his best to help me with the girls, but I feel distant. I don't feel close to him at all. I feel like there's more out there for me. I feel angry a lot, and I've started spending more time away from the house. I know something is wrong. The other day I was shopping and a guy started talking to me and asked me if I wanted to grab a cup of coffee. I didn't do it, but I wanted to. I didn't even tell him I was married. I know it was wrong to do that, but I can't bring myself to care. I think about leaving every day. I wonder how much different my life would be if I could be on my own. My husband keeps trying to find out what's going on, and I have no answer for him. Not one that he'll want to hear anyway. If something doesn't change, I'm going to lose everything. I don't know what to do. This is my story. I grew up without a father. My mom left us when I was little. I don't think it impacted me that much not having her around because I didn't know any different. My dad had to work a lot though. He didn't hurt me ever, but he was rough. He didn't know how else to be around me. I didn't really think too much about all of that until today. I was listening to your talk about Mother's Day. When you got to the part about it's okay to not always like being a mom, I started to cry. I didn't realize how much guilt that I'd been carrying around about this. Then I listened to a couple more episodes. You made me stop and think. I realized that I haven't been honest with my husband about some things in my past. You know how stupid teenagers can be, right? Yeah, I was one of those. I partied a lot and I tried some things that were dangerous. One party I woke up and had slept with more than one person at a time. The guys acted like that was no big deal and thought it was funny that I was dumb enough to let them all have me at once. The only reason they were hanging out with me was because I would do whatever they dared me to do. I was trying to be popular. I was stupid and reckless. The shame that I felt about this has stuck with me to this very day. Y'all, listen to what she says here. Because of my guilt, I was desperate for anyone to love me. When my husband and I met, he was very attentive, and I needed that. I was his world. I felt like that if he knew what I had done, he might not want me anymore. So I never told him anything. There's been so much time now that's passed since then. How am I supposed to tell him now? He'll think I've lied this whole time. I don't want to hurt him, but I know that I haven't dealt with, what is it, how you say that? What is it, my crud? What if he takes the girls away? I don't know if I believe in God. How do you know for sure? If he is real, will he forgive me? I feel broken. Every time I try to pick myself up, I do something that slowly destroys the family I've always wanted. I'm embarrassed to say this, but I've never prayed for anything. What do I say? Do you have to do that cross your hands over your heart thing? I just want to know what I need to say so that God will hear me and help me. I can't live like this anymore. I'm at the end of my rope. Can you help me? My answer, y'all, is yes. Yes, I can help. So can you. How? You and I, we know the one who is the ultimate helper and healer. Being a mom is hard. I never understood how hard it was until I became a mom. And let me just say this out loud. I can relate to a bunch of what she's feeling. I wanted my own family so much, to be worthy of that love, to be good enough to not only have it, but to deserve to have it. You know what I mean? And then when I got it, it wasn't what I thought it would be. It was hard. It was exhausting. It was thankless. I remember I felt a ton of guilt because I didn't always like the pressures or the responsibility of being in charge of two little human beings. The truth was, I didn't always like being a mom. And to this day, some days I don't. But then I'd feel guilty because good Christian moms love their mom role and will do anything for their kids. I was like, if I have to listen to how the Lego monster demolished the Sonic race car one more time, I will go insane. I'm a talker. Expressing my feelings helps me sort out how I'm thinking and what ways I need to change or move differently. After trying and trying to do it like I thought I should, it didn't get better. I just felt like more of a failure. I tried, but it didn't come naturally to me like it seemed to for all the other moms. So I'd try again, but then I'd fail. I kept thinking, I should be able to do this. So what's my problem? It was talking to Jesus and giving him my hurt and my fear about all of it that helped me the most. I learned that prayer and being in God's word changed how my day went. Praying even when I didn't feel like it changed how my day would go. And what I was able to not just accomplish, but to thrive as a Jesus follower first, then a wife, and then a mother. Taking breaks that are edifying, encouraging, and profitable for spiritual, emotional, and physical health are critical. That sounds hoity-toity, but the truth is, moms need a break. But I'm not talking about spending time on social media or grocery shopping. I'm saying pouring into God's word, surrounding yourself with other people who will push you towards Jesus. And taking care of yourself is mandatory in order for you to do your best for Jesus as a wife and a mom. When I don't do these things, everything falls apart. I end up trying to live in my own strength, and that's never good for anybody. Who you hang out with is really a big stinking deal. A really big deal. Awesome, intelligent, stable women have been pulled into crazy behavior by a so-called bestie. You know what I'm saying? They aren't interested in any commitments that you've made or your responsibilities. They feed the negative narrative. They aren't calling you on your crap. They're telling you, you don't have to put up with that. You deserve more. They'll look the other way just to have a partner in crime. They want to go to the club. They want Girls Gone Wild weekend in Miami Beach. Hanging out with people that pull you away from Jesus is poisonous. Be careful. I hear from people like this every day. Sin is everywhere. Make no mistake. Satan wants us to fail. He is sweetly, in his savagely evil way, wooing each of us to do the very thing that will hurt Jesus and ourselves. He loves that. If he can get us to doubt who Jesus is and what he says, Satan knows that it's much easier the next time and the next and the next for us to do whatever our flesh wants us to do. We need true relationships in our lives. We need each other. That's how God designed us, to have relationship with him and other people. We were never meant to do life alone. But because we've been hurt or betrayed, we've become a society that locks ourselves away, staring at a screen and firing off comments and photos of the life we want everyone else to think we have. You won't see any moms or dads posting, "I totally lost it with my kids and grabbed them or spanked them too hard" on social media. Listen, I love social media. You are reading this or listening today on some sort of form of social media. It can be used for wonderful things. It can also become an idol and take us away from authentic, genuine relationships with human beings. The feelings that this mom had were not wrong. In fact, her reaching out is brave, and it proves that she does care and love her family. She has crud. We all do. How she chooses to deal with all of it will make all the difference. It is never wrong to ask for help. When I felt overwhelmed, it was older women in the church, moms to be exact, that loved me and cared for me enough to tell me the truth and to hold me accountable and to walk with me through some of the scariest days of my life. It was other Christian women who said, "You don't always have to like being a mom, Sonia. Some days you just don't." It was a game changer. It was like being thirsty and drinking the coldest glass of water. I learned to look for my anger triggers and times of loneliness. It can feel empty and lonely, so I had to make a point to read my Bible, pray more, hang with godly women more, to cry when I needed to laugh more, and get out of the house for a while, especially when the kids were little. Even an hour with someone else sitting on my couch talking to me and holding my baby so I didn't have to hold my baby was a game changer. The sleep deprivation alone can feel like a tsunami has hit you and you won't recover. But you do recover. Jesus helps you. People help. But we have to be engaged with people. Sometimes we get angry at the lack of support and relationships we have, but we are unwilling to reach out or engage in a relationship. I know I'm stepping on some toes here, but it's almost like we say, if they won't reach out to me, then forget it. But then we fuss and get all mad and hurt because we don't have any connections to others and nobody will help us. How would anyone know that we need them if we don't actively work on or have relationships with them? That's dumb. Y'all, that's like standing at the counter at McDonald's and being unwilling to tell anyone what you want to order and then getting all hurt and mad because no one would give you what you want. Y'all, that's dumb, right? Don't wait around for people to call you. You call them. Don't wait around for someone to be your friend. You be their friend. You can start it. You can initiate. You won't die. But if you're trying to do life without people, you are going to be in for a world of hurt when life happens and you are alone. I think the greatest thing that the Lord has given me is a passion for friendships and other relationships. It's my desire to know and understand a person's heart. Y'all, that's one of my favorite things the Lord has given me. I actually want to know how you're doing with Jesus today. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The truth. I really do. Each one of us needs to do a checkup from the neck up. So because I love you, will you do a checkup from the neck up with me? Okay, let's do this together. How are you doing with Jesus? How are you spending your time? When you're daydreaming, what is going through your mind? Is there anything you're doing in the dark that you'd never dream of doing in the light? What I mean is it okay with Jesus or not? Are there people in your life that are poisonous? Why? What hold do they have on you? What are your danger zones? What are your triggers? Are you flirting with choices that could tear your life apart? Are you hiding sin? Can you stop? Will you stop? And finally, say this with me, everybody. Deal with your crud, or your crud will deal with you. When you and I refuse to deal with the crud, we take it with us. Do you get that? If you're feeling hurt and angry, maybe you're sad or fearful or bitter, you take that crud with you into your future. Then the next time something hard happens and you respond to it emotionally, the crud, because it's still there, is what determines the outcome of that response. To the men and the women, and specifically the moms who are feeling like they want to leave, you have a choice. You can leave and take the crud with you to the next relationship, or you can stay and work through your crud and show your spouse and your kids that Jesus can do anything. In a world that says you have a right to be anything you want, do anything you want, live however you want, believe whatever you want, would you have the courage to do the right thing? I have made a lot of mistakes in my life, too many to count. Every time I chose to do my own thing, it hurt me, it hurt Jesus, and it hurt others. A relationship with Jesus Christ has taught me to stay. Why? Because he showed me how. He stays, always. Even when he has a reason to walk away, he stays. He loves me. He doesn't take his love away. He doesn't like sin, but he doesn't stop loving me because of that. What he does is he gets my attention, and then he shows me a different way to behave or think or to respond. I'm praying that all of us will stay and do whatever it takes to honor our commitments. They are worth it. We are worth it. Jesus is worth it. To all the moms out there, doing a wonderful job, doing the best you know how to do. We thank you. We need you, and we love you. To the moms who are feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and worried about our families, our kids, and the kind of world we're raising these humans in, it can be so discouraging. Not to mention, being a mom is a thankless job most of the time. Jesus totally understands. He gets it. Don't allow temporary emotions to become permanent decisions. Let someone know what's going on with you, and get help if you need it. It's okay. You are enough. You are the very one that Jesus has chosen to be the mom of your children. He doesn't make mistakes. His grace is sufficient. His mercy is new every morning. He forgives every time we ask. With Jesus, all things are possible, even being a mom. I'm Sonia Bruner. Happy Mother's Day. See you next time.